Okay, on this video we're going to go through the corrections for section 2.1 on the most recent test. The first three problems involve simplifying radicals when I have the square root of a negative. So the first thing I like to do is take out that square root of a negative and call that I. Now in the first problem that leaves me with the square root of 7i. 7 cannot be simplified any further, so that's the final part of my problem. So let's start with that same first step on the square root of negative 32. So that would give me the square root of positive 32i. And now I need to do a factor tree. So pick anything that multiplies to 32. So maybe we do 4 and 8. And then 4 is 2 times 2. 8 is 4 times 2. And 4 breaks down to 2 times 2. So what I want to do is take out any pairs of factors. Well, I have one pair of 2's. I have another pair of 2's. And left underneath my radical, I have 1, 2 left over. And we can't forget to bring down your I. So my final answer would be 4 square root of 2i. Looking at the next one, once again, the first thing I would do is take out that negative as an I. And then what is the square root of 100? Well, the square root of 100 is 10, so this would be negative 10i. The next several problems are about combining our complex numbers. So I'm going to look at the operation. In this first problem, I'm adding. So it's like with the parentheses, I'm multiplying by a positive 1. Does multiplying by positive 1 change anything? No. So effectively, I'm dropping my parentheses. And now it's a simple matter of combining like terms. So 2 plus 4 is 6. 4i minus I would be a positive 3i. Now I need to be careful when I'm subtracting. So I still have a positive 1 in front of my first parentheses, so that's not going to change anything. But then my second set of parentheses is like I'm multiplying by negative 1. So negative 1 times 1 would be minus 1, and negative 1 times positive 3i would be a minus 3i. And now, like the first problem, I combine like terms. Negative 6 minus 1 is negative 7. Negative 7i minus 3i would be minus 10i. Okay, when I'm multiplying, what you want to do is multiply your numbers first. So negative 2 times 5 would be negative 10, and then I times I is I squared. But I squared is equal to negative 1. So this is negative 10 times negative 1. And negative 10 times negative 1 would give me a positive 10. The next one is another multiplication, and you can use either FOIL or use the box. You know me, I like the box. So 4 minus 3i, 5 plus 2i. So that would give me 20, negative 15i, 8i, and negative 6i squared. Okay. So writing those outside the box would be 20, and we have minus 7i minus 6i squared. But I squared is negative 1, so this last term is going to become plus 6. And if I combine that with the 20, that's going to give me 26 minus 7i. This last one just kind of makes me laugh whenever I grade it, because so many people start doing all sorts of multiplication. But I would never write a multiplication problem like this. This is understood to be a minus 1. So if I multiplied that negative through, I would get, bring down your 6, minus 8 minus 3i. And then what is 6 minus 8? Negative 2 minus 3i. A lot of people either lose the sign with the negative 2 or lose the sign with the 3i. So make sure you're careful with that. My last two involve simplifying powers of I. So for both of these problems, we're going to use I1, losers in the middle. So if I have something with a remainder of 1, it's going to simplify to I. A remainder of 2 simplifies to -1. A remainder of 3 simplifies to -I. And a remainder of 0, or something that's a multiple of 4, is going to simplify to 1. So my first problem, I'm looking at 34. So 34 divided by 4, 8, 32, gives me a remainder of 2. So I'm looking at the second number in my cycle, -1. So that means that I can replace I to the 34th power with -1. So this will give me 2 times -1. So my final answer would be -2. Now 44, we know 44 is a multiple of 4, right? Hopefully. So that means I to the 44th is going to simplify to 1, the fourth thing in my cycle. So that would give me -5 times a +1, or -5. Okay, so go back, rewatch anything you need to, and maybe rewatch the notes videos on complex numbers to help give you a refresher on how to do these.